We've experienced quite a change in this country over the past few months, almost unlike anything we've ever seen before. A new virus, the coronavirus disease 2019, has entered this country and has put a hold to life and, for some, education as we know it. It's a new animal since we've never had to put the country on lockdown before due to past viruses such as Ebola, Zika virus, swine flu, or SARS. And that's why today, during this challenging time, I wanted to talk to you and hopefully inform you, whoever may be watching this speech, about what the coronavirus disease is and whether or not it's really as bad as the media says it is. First off, to define coronavirus, coronavirus is a disease that researchers and scientists, according to a story in USA Today, believe originated in the Huanan wholesale seafood market in Wuhan, China. It appears to be a virus that's far deadlier than those past viruses, since the global death toll has now reached 316,340 globally and is rising as we speak. As we can see by this chart here, the United States ranks above those other countries. This has caused the country to go on lockdown, and that pegs the question, are lockdowns working? Are they effective or not? Well, according to a story in Business Insider, lockdowns are effective, as cities in Italy and China that have closed down have been shown to show lower infection rates and less cases a day. See from this chart, the USA ranks above Italy and China in terms of cases. So while the lockdowns may be working, people question whether or not these lockdowns are constitutional or whether they're unconstitutional. And ultimately that power is left up to the states. According to a story in Call newspapers, a district judge in St. Louis County, Missouri, Stephen R. Clark, sided with the St. Louis County and ruled that COVID-19 lockdowns do not violate the Constitution, at least in that state. But in Wisconsin, the Wisconsin Supreme Court, according to a story in CNN, struck down Governor Tony Evers' stay-at-home order since they felt it was unconstitutional. So ultimately, the power is left up to the states to decide whether or not it's unconstitutional or constitutional, according to a story in CBS News, that the federal government or President Donald Trump does not have the power to order them to reopen or to stay closed. Now, face masks is another issue that people have a lot of questions about. Are they effective, or are we just walking around with this thing on our face that doesn't even contain the virus very well? Well, according to a story published in the health section of US News, face masks have been shown to be effective, unless they're not properly fitted to the wearer's face. They must be properly fitted to the wearer's face in order for them to be truly effective. And if not, but if they are properly fitted, they've been shown to contain germs that may be airborne, such germs that come from sneezing or coughing. Now, another issue I'd like to turn to is the leadership during this challenging time, specifically President Donald Trump and his administration. Now, President Donald Trump has claimed that he and his administration are doing a good job containing this virus right now, and while, yes, they are actively working to combat it, the facts don't always line up that he's done a great job with it. In a timeline that's way too lengthy to go in depth here, published from justsecurity.org, it mentions a few key events. On January 20th, the first case of coronavirus occurred in the U.S. And on January 22nd, it was officially declared a pandemic. Now, credit can be given since on March 11th, President Trump issued travel restrictions on 26 European countries, and on March 12th, the country went into lockdown. However, he and his administration repeatedly downplayed the threat of the virus before it was declared a pandemic. And Dr. Anthony Fauci, the head of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, said in a CNN interview with Jake Tapper that earlier efforts to mitigate the virus would have saved more lives. So make of that what you will. In conclusion, I hope you learned something new, and I hope you learned something you maybe didn't know before. Maybe I've reassured you, maybe I haven't, but either way, some questions that I wanted to leave you with are, do you live in fear more or less? How do you think the U.S. response has been up to par or it's been subpar? Do you think we need to shut down the country because of the coronavirus? And finally, do you think panic or fears of the virus are rational or if it's overblown? Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed.